let's do this fret. I got my nut, my fret slotting template in. So it's a Gibson 24 and 0.75 or 24 and 3/4, and the 24.625 or 24 and 5/8. And I was wondering if which one I should do, but we've been talking 24 and 3/4 all the time. And I think in the past I've always just done the 5/8, but I measured from the nut to the 24th fret on both of these, and there's a 1/16 of an inch difference is all. So on the 25, and I'm measuring from the inside of one slot to the outside of this, so it should be center to center. So the 5/8 one is 18.5, and the 3/4 one is 18 9/16. Yeah, so we're talking about a 1/16 of an inch difference on the overall length, so I don't think it really matters. I'm just going to go with the 3/4, and I think all the difference here is that through the years, Gibson probably just had some jigs that wore out, and so there's a little slop, so the scale changed minutely. That has never been an issue for me. The issues I've had is when I've had guitars come in that the bridge was, a good quarter of an inch in the wrong place, and that's not due to that scale length. It's not that big a difference. But I've had SG. In fact, the SG that I traced this body off of had issues with the bridge being too far away, too close. Actually, needed to be farther away. Anyway, so I've chose this side of the fretboard for the fret side. I've marked the nut and the 23rd position, which would be the cut point, because the 22nd is the last fret. So this will be the end of the fretboard. I straight edged one edge, which is not that one, this one. And what I'm going to do is lay it in like that, put the tape on it, and then I can just come in here and line up my two marks here, which aren't at all critical when you have that much left over on either end of the board. And then I'll slide to a mark and then press it down into the sticky tape. And then it's ready to go. Then it'll all be a unit, and I can just pick it up and move it as a unit and go from one fret to the next to do the slotting. So right now, I should just line it up before I start. Then I don't have to mess with it, he says as he tries to move it. Okay, so that's pretty much lined up. All right, so now what I'm going to do is put tape on the fretboard. And you don't need to use it, like all the way like a one long piece of tape like you would if you were doing super glue and masking tape. You have to do that with that process because you don't want to get super glue on the fretboard. But here, I don't have to worry about it. And what did I do? That's my pencil. I'm just going to mark this right where the pin is so I can line it up. So I want to pull this out again. I like to burnish them down. I will say that pulling the backing off of these things can be kind of a pain. Sometimes they don't want to cooperate. I just happen to be using a straight edge here blade, single edge blade, but a lot of times I'll just use my scalpel, and that just digs in and pulls them up pretty easily. I was using this razor blade on something yesterday, and I wasn't paying attention. I actually had it turned over, and I was starting to press down on the sharp edge of the blade. Unfortunately, it's not extremely sharp, and my fingers are kind of tough. I didn't push hard enough to have it slice me. That would have been interesting. I bleed enough as it is. The hand looks like I had my hand in a crocodile mouth or something, but that's just when I bang it. I'm on prednisone right now for some issues. And if I bang it, it bruises like that. And then I just barely touched it a couple places and it bled. It was changing the overflow tank out of my pickup. There's the mark. Let's just double check that real quick. Close enough. All right. So now all I have to do is make sure I have the right scale. There it is. That would have been goofy. And then line up my marks on the end. Okay, and on the pin. So now we've got the template tight against the sled and the board tight against the sled. Now I'm just going to drop it down here. And, you know, I didn't clean this off at all, so it might have some oil on it. Let's see if that's going to be a problem. Nope, not at all. If I ever worry about this stuff sticking, I just get a quick clamp and just squeezy clamp it where the tape's at approximately, and that sticks it in really good. So I'm going to do one cut just to make sure that my template is, my depth is where I left it. I could do it on the nut, I suppose, but I'm just going to go, oh, I can't do it on that one. Yeah. Oh, and I didn't think about that. Sitting my fence. Well, anyway, let's just cut the nut and see how deep that is. And the nut on this just cuts all the way off. It's not like a fender nut. So I'm not going to turn the dust collection on because that's way loud. And if you saw the other video the other day, you saw where this was tightening up on me at the end of the stroke here. So I'm clear of the blade at this point. So what I'm going to do is just push it through because I want to be able to pick this up, pull the sled back, and then start again. I don't want to pull it back through the cut until I find out how tight these are going to be. All right, so let's do this. I'm trying to compensate for the radius as well as the fret depth, and I think I'm pretty good here. So if anything, it may be just a fuzz deep. Let me grab something to measure it with. That is 0.156 deep. That piece I cut the other day when I was doing a trial run on the depth ended up getting sliced into ears for the peg head here, or headstock. And so I saved that little piece that I cut off, but I don't know what I did with it. Okay, I got my paper out where I did my layout, and so this is actually measuring 125 about. So if I go to 130, but 156 is a bit deep. So, and I can always deepen them a little bit if I need to. So that's unfortunate. Well, I don't have to cut them straight. I can cut them crooked out here. Since that's unfortunate that I can't do that. All right, let's. Okay, I went down a little bit. Let's try that. That's way too shallow. That's like 70 thousandths, so I will raise it up a tad. Tad fuzz. All right, let's see what we ended up. I did one cut and it was obviously not deep enough, so I'm doing another one. And I have no idea if you can see that. So this one over here was about 156. This one, get to the bottom of it here. Still only 93 from the looks of it. Yeah, on the clean end where it goes in, it's it's 125. So that's about what we were hoping for. So I'm going to go with that. And I can get about half of these cut. Then I'm going to have to move the camera and everything. But you'll have the idea at that point. So here we go. Locks into the first fret actually. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm trying to get it to where you can see it dropping into the stem without cutting it. There we go. Okay, so I didn't time that, but so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 fret slots, and all the fiddle farting with the depth here as well in that little bit of time. Now, if you've ever hand cut frets, you know that that's a huge time savings. However, you know, if you only do a few guitars a year, it's probably not worth it. Now that I'm retired, I think I'm going to be doing a little more than that. I'm actually still doing primarily repair work. I'm really busy with that. Let me change the camera angle. Thanks a lot for watching. You got. I'm not going to try to set this up again and have you see the rest of the slots, but you see how easy it is with this setup. And this is kind of a bonus midweek video, just to kind of finish up on Sunday's video. So. You saw the sled go together, and now you've seen it in action. And with that blade, I got that blade from StewMac on sale, so it was less than usual. It was below $100. So I snatched it up when I had a chance. It's been sitting around here for 2 or 3 months, waiting for me to get to need it. Anyway, so that's it. Thanks for joining me here. Hope this helps. Take care of yourselves. Bye.